inching closer toward the midway point of this NFL season, and we're underway on EA Sports.
On the return, Andre Roberts from his end zone. And ultimately, he stopped right where he would have been if he had simply gone down to a knee at the 25. Tannehill to the air right off the bat.
And he's got the hook up to Moore. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4. I think defensively you're okay with that. Here in the first quarter, he's going to get some catches, but they rallied to him quickly.
And that's what you count on, and I like what you just said. First quarter, can you do it all game long? They catch it, you tackle it, they go down on the spot. Because when you're able to do that, and you don't give up big chunks of yardage after the catch, now you put the offense in a position where every series they have to work hard to put that first downs, and you tend to stall them out when you do that.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. To the right side and complete to Thomas.
Finding room at midfield.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. A big play that time on the catch and run. And it'll give him a fresh set of downs. Again, Tannehill.
Over the middle, he's got Chenault. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 40.
And forget about the run to set up the pass. They're just coming out throwing.
Forget trying to set anything up. They feel like they have the advantage. They feel like they have the matchups, and they're just attacking right now.
Yep, going to the air on the opening drive.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw complete there to Thomas.
And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 17-yard line. 23 yards the pickup there.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10.
A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be 2nd down. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
And it's caught. Third catch for him on this drive alone, and it'll give him a first down.
First drive of the game. We did see this in practice, didn't we? Because they allowed us to stay and watch and see what their opening script would be, even though we don't know the exact play calls. That looks a lot like what we saw them execute, doesn't it?
It really does, and in practice it wasn't about a lot of big shots on that opening drive. They wanted to put together a series. And he is in! Touchdown, Carolina!
Deontay Foreman with his 4th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Panthers get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. The Carolina kick team is out there ready to go, and they kick this one away.
Isabella now from his end zone. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready.
At their own 22.
Beginning on the ground with Patterson.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. He'll drop to throw.
Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Panthers are going to take possession of the football. So a first interception thrown for him there, and that really not the best decision either.
Not at all, and that's something he did not do in their victory last week. No interceptions in that game, but this defense, they're able to take advantage of an early mistake Now let's see if they're going to turn it into points.
And he'll take this ahead for about 4. Second down coming up.
Well, this defense for the Falcons, they were very good in the victory a week ago over Cincinnati.
And how'd you like to be the quarterback reviewing the game tape from last week and seeing this defense on the spot on almost every snap? If the ball was in the air, they took it away. If the ball was popped free, they picked it up. 5 takeaways in last week's game.
They try to throw on second down, but this one is incomplete.
Brandon, we saw these defenders flying to the football in their win last week, and nothing has changed. They're still moving around quickly and forcing incompletions.
Off play action, Tannehill.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted. And the Falcons are going to have the football here at their own 35-yard line.
It's almost like you can see the look of frustration on his face. 4 interceptions last week. We talked about it all week. What did he do wrong? And another one here in the first half.
And you can understand the frustration. You actually feel his pain a little bit. But the worst thing he can do is what you're seeing right now, showing the other team that he's frustrated. All they're going to do is double their efforts to make him even more frustrated. He's got to gather himself, compose himself, and keep fighting.
Well, he talked a lot about erasing that loss last week, getting back in the win column. We'll see how he responds. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a first down.
The Falcons at 6-1 now through 7 weeks of the season. And they come in feeling pretty good after back-to-back victories, CD.
And I thought that they played pretty well last week. Their execution, their discipline, their resilience, all on display in that victory.
The tackle for loss goes to Matthew Ioannidis. Really nice play.
The 45-yard line.
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. He rifles one that's intercepted. It's T.J. Carey who picked it. And the Panthers are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line. Good starting position for the Panthers as they come up 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47.
Tannehill's throw caught by Higgins. And he's going to be marked down just inside the 35.
So many times in my career I've heard coaches talk about completions are one thing. But as long as we're there at the catch and we get guys on the ground, we can live with that. But if you're going to give up 10, 12, 15 yards after the catch, then your defense is going to be in a lot of trouble.
Now Foreman. And a short gain down to about the 33. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. 6-0 our score after 1.
Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. They'll run out of the gun. It's Hubbard.
And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. They follow up the first down 1-yard run with a minimal gain of 2.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Now throwing on 3rd down there, but he cannot connect.
Like what I see so far out of this defense, because they've been showing their best coverages on 3rd down. So far, only allowed 1 conversion on a handful of attempts. One area of their game plan that they've executed to perfection.
This is up and good from Pinheiro. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Atlanta offense out there for their next drive. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that colored jersey all week? Not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be stern with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
Now a nice throw here, right side. He hauls it in. And he'll be taken down, but not before they reach the 50. 23 yards to pick up there. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10.
1st and 10, it's Patterson.
And he's got some space here. Cordell Patterson. Touchdown, Falcons.
Bottom line, when you play a runner with these talents, you've got to be able to wrap up and get him on the ground. Or the first person who gets there, hold him up long enough for the next wave to get there and get him down. Otherwise, he will continue downfield and find pay dirt.
Crew able to connect on the extra point. And the lead is down to 2.
Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The Panthers have the first. It's a gain of 12. Here's Foreman. A solid stiff arm. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. That's good for 21 yards and a 1st down. A shotgun snap for Tannehill. Throw left side complete. That's Hubbard. And they'll get 8 out of this before being stopped at the 28.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
Looking to throw again on 2nd down. Tannehill for Marshall. That's complete.
And he'll be brought down at the 27. The Falcons and Panthers, of course, division rivals. It wasn't a great year for either offense last year, that's for sure. Look at the final numbers. The Falcons, they were 29th in the league in total yardage. The Panthers were 30th. Certainly both looking for an uptick here in 2022.
A carry for Foreman. And he'll be touched down here, but not before he does pick up the first. It's a 7-yard gain and good enough to move the chains. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. Tannehill on 1st down. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
And the Panthers are going to be set up with a 1st and goal coming up as they get him down at the 6-yard line.
Now it's Tannehill. And it's incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
On second down, here's a run with Hubbard.
And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back over to the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete. Well, so a drive that spans all that time, and yet you may only come away with 3 points here.
Well, your defense, all right, they actually like these long drives. They get to rest over on the sidelines for a while. But when you're not finishing with points in terms of touchdowns, that's frustrating. They've got to figure out how to close out these long drives and get 6s instead of 3s.
The kick by Pinheiro is good. And that will push the lead up to 12-7.
So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. They'll try and start this drive in the air. He's got his tight end, Anthony Ferkser. And he's going to get a good gain of 9 here up to the 34. 2nd and 1. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Falcons going to use the 2nd of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. The Panthers turn to their nickel set here as they get ready for 3rd down. Back to throw here. He's going to loft one deep left side here.
Well, this is intercepted. They get rid for the 3rd time.
Picked off by Travis Carey.
And the Panthers force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really.
Meanwhile, Tannehill's throw into the hands of the receiver, Chenault.
Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 35 seconds to go in quarter number 2. On 1st and 10, Tannehill. Pressure brought in, and the Falcons get there for the sack. Now another timeout called for by the offense as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19.
They're looking for Higgins, but it is intercepted.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Falcon defense has a touchdown.
Coup now for the point after.
And the lead is now 2.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively, offensively they want to play this.
I think we'll find out just how much they trust their guys in this situation if they decide to take a shot. Today's NFL, these big guys are featured receivers. They move all over the place to try and find good matchups, and they had one. They were just unable to complete the pass.
That's going to be caught. It's Chenault. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. Now a timeout. 7 seconds left in the first half. So the line of scrimmage moves all the way across the 50 now as they come up 1st and 10. Back to throw, Tannehill. And incomplete on the deep ball.
One thing you hope to see out of a rookie tight end is a real concentration when the ball's in the air, and I'm not sure that he didn't, but he has to be prepared for people making a play on it when that ball's up for grabs.
The final shot here before the break, Tannehill. Oh, he'll let one go deep for Higgins. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be 3rd down. So we have reached halftime here in a tight 2-point contest. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach, and we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the 3rd quarter. The Falcons back to receive. They've got the lead, and they'll get this football as the second half gets underway. Certainly not what they wanted out of the locker room here as they'll start defensively at the 40-yard line. Falcons 1st and 10 here as Ritter gets them ready at the 41-yard line. Straight ahead, Patterson. And he'll manage to pick up about 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, on every play call, you realize it's not going to go for a touchdown. So a lot of your calls are setting things up for maybe later in the game, trying to establish the inside run with toughness now, hopefully get to the perimeter later. And let's face it, you could do worse than a 40-yard run on 1st down.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. Drake London, his intended target, and it's 3rd down.
Well, that's a defensive coordinator's got to be happy with that result. They took away all options down.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. When that ball popped free, we could hear it all the way up here. Those guys down on the field alerting everyone of the fumble. He's lucky that his offensive mates picked him up and jumped on it.
Yeah, and you have to think to yourself, and I'm sure they've been echoing it on the sideline and into the huddle. Guys, we have the lead. Just take care of the football. Don't.
And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. So they take over not only in enemy territory, but in the red zone at the 16-yard line.
I feel like you and I could be in our backyard with our dads right now. What did they always say when they were throwing us a ball? Look it all the way in. Make sure you secure it. That had the feeling of not happening there on that play, that he didn't have full control of the ball.
When that punch coming in, I don't have a return punch, but I would imagine it's tough to monitor those guys coming full steam ahead at you.
It really is. You try and get that peek to know where they are, about whether you should fair catch it or not, but sometimes you just have to have a sense, a feeling, and just have to make sure, number one.
That ball is caught. It's London for the Atlanta touchdown. A great play there. His 4th touchdown on the year. And the Falcons are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And that makes this a 9-point game. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. Here's Roberts to bring it out of the end zone. And he returns this to the 22. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. On 1st down, it's Tannehill. And that is caught downfield by Thomas. And they work this well upfield across the 45. A really nice gain of 25 yards. A big hitter to start the drive has him up near midfield here for 1st and 10. Now Tannehill. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hubbard. And they'll wind up getting this with all the way down inside the 20. Last play, they went over 20 yards. This time, they topped 30.
I think this defense was still trying to recover from that last play, so you wonder if they were ready for this one. You have to imagine their defensive coaches are yelling at them to get focused, because if they don't, more plays like that will result in giving up points.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete.
As a corner, you have to be able to run with guys step for step downfield of man coverage and make up ground quickly in zone. You have to put yourself in position to make plays, just like that one we saw there.
To the air again, Tannehill.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
Really solid coverage from the current NFC Defensive Player of the Week. Also had an interception in that game a week ago.
And it was fun to watch him in practice this week, wasn't it? To see how he understands spacing and when the ball's arriving, which hand to put out in front to try and knock it away. And he just exhibited it on that play.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Give them credit for excellent coverage, tight coverage. They're doing a lot of things that we talk about in basketball. They're causing disruptions in the passing game. And as long as that continues, it'll be tough for them to gain any momentum throwing the ball downfield.
They snap it to Tannehill. And he's going to be intercepted a third time.
Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Falcons are going to get the ball back on the turnover as they hold on fourth down. And they'll begin by running the option.
And he'll go down for a loss inside his own 5 at the 4. And that sends him 2 yards in the wrong direction and leads to second down. From deep in their own territory, they look to throw. And they'll get him down up past the 15, just shy of the 20. The escapability in evidence there is that one good for 15 and a first.
Running the counter, Patterson.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
This is what happens sometimes when you abandon the running game. It's hard to get back to it because once guys get out of that mentality of firing out and hitting people, it's hard to get them started again occasionally.
He's going to float this one deep right side. He's got him in, complete.
And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35.
That's evidence of why you spend a high draft pick on a receiver, isn't it, Charles?
It certainly is. His ability to make plays like that, and we've seen flashes of it from him so far in his rookie season. But also, it opens things up for the rest of the offense because they have to bring their attention to him as well.
92 yards for him on the ground now as he has been terrific here this afternoon. In need of only about the length of the football here on second down. On second down, a run with Patterson.
23 yards on the pickup there and a first.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
We'll give some credit to the defense. They forced the big play, knocked the ball free from him, but that's a cardinal sin by the quarterback. Know where you are on the field, and he just gave up at a minimum 3 points.
Instead of getting that, his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Casey Hayward. Yet another interception, and I just had to double-check my math. But it is now 8 between last week and this week.
Well, I just used a calculator. I didn't worry about double-checking it. But the thing that always throws me when you see quarterbacks in this type of a bad spot, they're trying to figure out what they can do to change it, and sometimes they try too hard, and they never get out of it, and that's where he is right now. He's just locked in a really bad way.
Here we go. Second down and 3.
Let's go. They'll drop to throw.
Throws right back to London, complete again.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this third quarter. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. They'll come out in the pistol.
Patterson. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way.
So a loss of 5, and it'll be second down.
It's a nice second effort we just saw there. So I'm trying to get to the end zone, but a lot of times near the goal line, that second effort can lead to disaster. Make sure you hold on to the football because there's going to be guys swarming when you're carrying it.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3.
Well, Brandon, we always know that once you score 1 touchdown,
you want 2.
You're without a doubt. And so far today, he's got 1, but was denied as he tried to get the second one.
Now, they'd really like to make the short field pay off. We'll see if they can, but this is 3rd and goal.
He'll look to throw. Touchdown!
Drake London
with a second touchdown of the game and 5th on the year.
And the Falcons are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. Ritter will throw for it.
And this one's caught. And their 4th quarter lead grows by a couple more. He hits the big target for the 2-point try. Defenses hate those guys, especially around the goal line.
It's hard to decide who you're going to put on him. Are you going to put a smaller corner on him? Are you going to put a safety who doesn't have maybe the same coverage skills? How about a linebacker? He may have the size, but he's not used to really covering in space. That's why the tight end gives you such a great advantage when you're throwing the football.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error.
And now here's another interception.
And the Falcons are going to take over at their own 28-yard line. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball-hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard, but also you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player, you have to know the situation.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. The Falcons send out their punter as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. Here now Roberts. That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Panthers will have a 1st and 10 from deep in their own territory. The Panthers out there and ready to begin their next drive. Even though they were able to force the punt defensively, still a big hole to climb out of, especially at this late stage of the contest. Try to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And this one is incomplete.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they've forced in this runaway contest.
Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. He's going to air one out. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete.
We've seen that the deep ball has been a part of their game plan all afternoon, but they've had trouble hooking up on it, unable to successfully find the end zone over the top.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And my goodness, another interception. Isaiah Oliver with the INT.
And the Falcons are going to take possession of the football.
Patterson running between the tackles. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
No gain on the play that time, and they'll look to convert on what will be a 3rd and 4.
And they'll try and run the option to pick it up.
And this won't be enough. Stopped a yard short after a gain of 3. 4th down.
So he is able to turn that into positive yardage, but I think it's fair to say that those are not the shots you're wanting your quarterback to have to absorb.
And he has to know sometimes when to say when. You have to know when to give yourself up, and let's face it, not easy for these guys to do because they're competitors as well. But sometimes you do learn your lesson the hard way, as he did there.
He needed a yard. He didn't get anything. And the Panthers will get the football back. So we were looking at each other up here in the booth when they went for that saying, oh, wow, talk about trying to add insult to injury.
Some teams are just like that. You know, some philosophies, some coaches are like, look, when I got a chance to put some more points on the board, I don't care what the situation, I'm going to do it. And they're also the same coaches as a general rule that if someone does it to them, you won't hear people protest out of them. That's just who they are.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Tannehill. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9.
That's Crosby. He's the one to get him, and that is sack number 7 for him on the year.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. And it looks like we've got a dime set here defensively. 6 DBs in the game. Now a play fake, and it's Tannehill. This one complete into the hands of Higgins. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. That was no 3rd and 2. That was 3rd and 16, but they get the conversion anyway. On first down, Tannehill. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
Another throw there off the mark, and obviously he's battled all of the interceptions. Things just haven't been true to form for him. I don't know. What do you think's going on out there, CD?
That's a great question, and my suspicion is he's been coached really well to not show that he's having a problem. You know, they always tell you no matter what, you keep throwing the football with confidence. Well, we're not seeing a confident thrower right now. He's off balance, the passing game's off balance, and the defense is taking advantage.
He's got a man, complete.
And he is going to have a Panthers first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive.
Now it's Tannehill. And nowhere to fit that football in. It's knocked away and incomplete.
Well, he's smart enough to avoid the taunting rule, but I'm guaranteed quietly has told them, you might want to stop coming after me downfield because I just broke up another pass and took away a big shot that you were trying to succeed with.
That's going to be brought in by Higgins. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Now the Panthers going to use the first of their timeouts, as it'll come with 36 seconds to go in half number 2. Tannehill throwing again.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Now Tannehill. Throw left side to Higgins. Touchdown, Panthers. Rashard Higgins, his first touchdown on the year.
And the Panthers have got it back to a 2-score game here in the fourth. Tannehill to throw.
And it's intercepted at the goal line.
It's interesting that when it comes to two-point conversions, even heavy run teams tend to throw the ball in these situations. In this case, this one was intercepted.
And they weren't fooled. They were ready for the pass, picked it off.
Isabella now from his end zone. And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22.
The Falcons take over first. Here we go. At their own 22-yard line.
The defense can stop it twice more as they take a knee here.
Here we go.
So time runs out. It's a victory for the Atlanta Falcons.
Well, Charles, when you look at the stat sheet, ultimately one thing sticks out like a sore thumb.